I'm going to go back to 2018. I think everyone probably remembers the city teamed up with West Bend Baseball Association and the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation. There was a lot of different rumors and stories out there, things like that, where Cal Ripken's giving the city $500,000 and all that, and a lot of that was just not accurate information. The information, the accurate information was, or is, the city did sign an agreement with Cal Ripken Senior. Cal Ripken Senior Group is still, at this point in time, committed financially to the project. We're talking, could be up around $150,000 at this point in time. That's just a verbal, but they're still involved. We also worked with the Ripken Group and applied for a grant with Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball foundations, they had two foundations that merged into one. That entire grant process went from like a 3-month process to like a 14-month process. So a lot of that got strung out also. We did apply, the city and the Baseball Association applied for that grant. We did not receive any of that funding. We were notified of that probably in March, April this year when COVID was really hitting. But as we know, we have a lot of outstanding individuals, foundations, and companies in West Bend, such as West Bend Mutual and their commitment of $500,000 towards this project, and many other groups and service clubs that have committed money towards this. The Baseball Association has asked me not to discuss their financials at this point in time. It's their business, not ours. The grant money or the money has not come forward to us, things like that. But what I can tell you is they have definitely narrowed the gap on what, where their donations are and where the project might be going here. So we asked that the agenda get amended for tonight's meeting to have this a specific discussion item, because on the 28th, I'm hoping that we can take something more formal to the Common Council. And I just wanted to make sure the commission was aware of what was going on before they hear that it's going to Common Council. So we do have a new drawing, we have new drawings, new specs for a new design. This right here is from Fields Company. They are in Atlanta, Georgia. They work with the Cal Ripken Group on many of the fields that they do. This was our original plan. Yeah, here we go. This is kind of the new plan, new layout. Obviously, Silverbrook Drive's not going to go anywhere. B Diamond's going to stay. We've got the concession stand, tennis courts, things like that. So, and even the scoreboard out here is going to stay. That scoreboard's only a couple of years old.
Can you go back and forth again?
Yep.
Grandstand comes down.
I thought the diamond moved, but it didn't.
No,
Actually, it was shifted.
It moves to the north lane.
a little bit, but.
Yeah, so you just kind of look at, here's a sidewalk along Silverbrook. You kind of look at that distance. And so you look at that distance, it does move in a little bit. So right now, we are working with the baseball guys, Baseball Association, and we have been working with a company called H&H Civil. They are out of Collins, Wisconsin, so just west of Manitowoc. And we are looking at possibly a hybrid field. So the full synthetic field, if we would go with the Fields Company and the Cal Ripken Group, as this sits right here, we're talking something north of $2 million for the field, the fence, no lights, no grandstand, just a field, full synthetic field. So, and again, Cal Ripken Senior, they do fields all over the United States, but this is the company they work with, and with the original agreement, this was the company we were going to work with. Obviously, $2 million is pretty expensive. You start throwing in grandstand, lights, concessions, building restrooms. Now we're talking about a $3 million field, and that's just not going to work. So that's why we did reach out and to a local company and H&H Civil. This is what they do. They build fields all over Wisconsin, Midwest. As far as they've done some fields in Texas, they don't like to. It's too hot down there, they said. So we are looking at possibly, I'm hoping next week I'm going to be meeting with the Baseball Association and H&H and having everything kind of nailed down. I just started going through all the numbers this week, so that's why I don't have anything specific for you folks yet, because some things still need to be discussed. But we're looking at possibly 1 or 2 phases for the project. Phase 1, which would be right around 1.4 to 1.5 million, would be the hybrid field. So again, hybrid field would be your infield is synthetic turf, your outfield, and your surrounds is natural turf. So phase one would be the hybrid field, fencing, dugouts, and the grandstand. No lights, no new concessions. We would keep the existing concessions, existing restrooms. So it'd be the new hybrid field, fencing, and dugouts.
Not moving the lights?
The lights would have to come down. The lights are down. Yeah. And then if we do receive additional funding, phase three would be the lights, and maybe a phase 3 or 4, or sorry, phase 2 would be the lights. And then maybe phase 3 would be new concessions and new restrooms.
Going with that, does that limit your utilization of that in the evening?
It does, but some fields in the area, like Kewaskum just built their new field, they have no lights. They couldn't afford it, it's just, that's a reality.
So you just readjust the schedule?
Yeah. So we kind of felt seating would probably be more important than lights, you know, so. And again, this is all just, I received the information late last week. I just started going through it, so this is all still a little bit up in the air. But again, I just wanted to make sure the commission was aware that we are getting closer to maybe a decision for this. And again, it's going to the common council on the 28th, so I just.
What is it going to council on the 28th for then?
Hopefully approval of the project.
Just approve that
Yep.
they can move forward and redo the field.
Yep, and Jay asked me, Jay Shambo, city administrator, asked that we bring it back to the common council because 2018, the city went into the agreement with Cal Ripken, and there's been a lot of things happening and not happening. And many council members are new, that they probably have heard of the project, but maybe not understand what's going on. So at that point in time, I don't know if Jay is going to request that the council votes and approves it, or it's just an update to the council. I don't know yet at this point in time. So, but it's definitely, if we're looking at the possibility of a hybrid field and all that, we're definitely getting closer financially. Yep.
And when you go to phase 2, is that a provision for athletic lighting then?
Yeah, phase 2 would be the lighting. I think lighting's important, but I think seating, dugouts, playability.
No, I agree with that.
We know the grandstands are just about.
Yeah, the grandstand is not in good shape, so. And then, if this does go, we have to move a water, excuse me, right now there's a water main that runs through the field that would have to get moved. And all the demolition we would actually do in-house. So we would raise the grandstand, the park staff, fencing, lighting, all that stuff we would do. We probably might come down, drop some of the light poles for us, something like that.
It's not gonna affect regular B at all.
No, no, and that was, one of the goals is, I mean, we already lost A because of, I shouldn't say
You
lost.
did lose it, you
It
gained.
lose, we did, I mean, the
For
sport courts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, so it's nice to keep that here, but also out here, all the electric is all sitting out here for a lot of this and that and the property. So for us to start moving all of that, that would be very difficult. The Carl Kuss scoreboard, I mean, that was a $55,000 donation. Like to preserve that, I mean, it's new, you know, let's continue. So to push the field to the east probably wouldn't be real feasible. And the tennis courts and all that, they're not gonna get moved out of there. So it'd be an expensive move.
Well, I'm glad to see it's moving forward again, I really am. I think it'll work out well, I really do. I'm happy to see they went in phases, and that's what you gotta do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, you know. so-
No, many of the baseball association folks, they want a fully synthetic field, and I get that, you know. I do, but the reality is, if you don't have the funding for that, and they want to make sure they can play baseball. 75% of the games on the infield, and if that's synthetic and we get rain, they can still play. We can still get our games in. And if we go with something like this, we're gonna have more youth baseball on that field than we've ever had. Because we'll be able to play those games.
Yep.
Kevin, so,
So is this department going to have greater input into this than previously?
yes. Very much so,
Cool.
yes. And, yes,
Yeah,
no, no,
because if that would remain the same, I'd have a lot of reservations.
no, the list of questions that I have sitting on my desk right now for H&H and the baseball folks. And it's not, I'm certainly not being critical, it's just, we need to make sure we're getting all our ducks in order. That way, if we do bring something either back to this commission or to the council on the 28th, I mean, I need to be able to speak with confidence that these are the costs, this is what's gonna happen.